Edinburgh CISD, Dr. Mario Salinas, joining us again. I'm reminded of what top education advocate from centuries ago, that famous quote of his was saying, um, education is a great equalizer. And man, we're starting young in Edinburgh to make sure the little ones start getting the education that they need. So let's start there. Try to break the cycle of poverty, starting it with the little 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds. What's going on, Mario?
Yes, Sergio, since I became superintendent almost 5 years ago, one of the priorities for me is uh, poverty, breaking the cycle of poverty in Edinburgh and in the Valley. Poverty is prevalent. You know, in our school district, the Texas Education Agency says that 82% of our children are classified by them as economically disadvantaged. And so, a top priority for me is to interrupt that. And then you're right. Education is a great equalizer. It levels the playing field for children born into poverty to break out of that cycle. And one of the big initiatives for us is to before I became superintendent, it was the pre-K. We didn't have a pre-K 3 program for starters,
Yeah.
and our pre-K 4 program was limited to only those children that were limited in English and economically disadvantaged. So we decided we're going to open it up for all children that are either 4 on September 1, and they qualify or not qualify. Every child was going to be eligible for a pre-K 4 program, and then we went further than that. We feel strongly that if we get them started at an earlier age, that bodes well, especially for children that are come from poor families,
Yeah.
uh, uh, children that come with stressed economic situations at home. And so we started a pre-K 3 program for all children that are 3 September 1. And as I've described in your program in a couple of months back, that program has started to we're starting to see the results of that program now that the children are reaching the testing grades. The first cohort of 3-year-olds took the first standardized test last year, and they show that those children are performing at a much higher level than the state children of the same age and even national. And so I was telling Lisa, you don't have to be a professor of education to know that if you start them earlier to read, it's going to make a big difference, and it's showing. And in Edinburgh, we the 3-year-old program, they're taught by a highly qualified teacher. That means that the teacher's certified in the for early childhood education, and they have an aide, highly qualified aide, meaning the aide is also certified. And so they've got two people dealing with these 3-year-olds, and we know that it's a very good program, and we know that eventually those children that participate in that 3-year-old program, we think that they have a much better chance of graduating from college than if they didn't participate in the program. And we're already starting to see the fruits of that program. And we're
That's good.
starting to recruit, Sergio. That's why we're talking about it today, this
Yeah.
morning.
All
For
right.
those parents out there that have 2-year-olds that are going to turn 3 this summer or this spring, bring them on to Edinburgh,
Yeah.
and they'll get a first rate 3-year-old formal education. And the parents that have participated in this program, almost 100% are completely satisfied with the 3-year-old
Oh, I
program.
would imagine so. Yeah. Dr. Mario Salinas, superintendent
Mhm.
of Edinburgh CISD. And we're talking about the pre-K 3. Yeah. Little 3-year-olds going to school, learning how to read. They do not take a nap in the middle of the day. And the proof is in the pudding, is in the test results. Can you review real quick, just top of mind, like in the success story? Because we're a handful of years into the program, pre-K 3, pre-K 4. The
Mhm.
babies are reading, they're learning, they're actually going to school through the entire day.
Mhm.
And now I was going to say they're clearing the hurdles. More than a hurdle, they're clearing the bridge
Yes,
to being good students. If you solve the issue of them not reading, well, everything else should be a whole lot easier to attain. The math problems, everything else that they have to learn.
that, at 2 years ago, we had a general assembly at the end of the year, and I'm sorry, at the beginning, at the beginning of the year, where we had two students that went through the 3-year program, and I had them read in front of 5,000 people. They were actually reading off of books.
Yeah.
We're talking two students that went through the 3-year program, sitting in front of 5,000 people reading a book. These are students that went through the 3-year program for that just that's just how uh, the quality of the program is it's not about.
They didn't get stage fright. They didn't get freaked out because they had all these thousands of people
That's
looking
right.
at them.
I told Lisa when we were getting ready for that, I said, you know what? They may freeze
Ay,
in front of
chica.
all the people, and we took a gamble. Right? I said they may climb up and not say anything, right? Because there's a lot of people here. No, they didn't. They were not intimidated by the crowd. I guess they're naive. They don't know any better, right?
Yeah,
And they
yeah.
were reading in front of everybody. Of course, I had their parents right in front, so they'd be calm, right?
Yeah. You gotta make sure though, because as you do that again, hopefully during the assemblies, I
Mhm,
wish you great success in that. Okay.
mhm.
Try to find the chatty Cathys. Try to find the Huerquillas, the little girls that get in trouble for talking in class. The social butterflies. Those are the ones you want to go to and put a book in front of them in front of 5,000 people.
As a
Parents,
matter of fact,
they will
Sergio,
warn. Yeah.
there were two little girls that were doing the reading in front. Of course, that was the highlight of the whole. The General Assembly was about 3 hours long. That was the highlight of the whole thing to see those little girls
And,
read a book uh, uh, that went through that 3-year program, and we encourage. Not only are they going to get their schooling, Sergio. Imagine the savings if you don't have to send your child to a daycare. Send them to school
yeah,
instead.
yeah.
The daycare, it's almost like sending your children to college. It's very expensive.
Mhm.
Uh, so if there are people out there, then they don't have to live in Edinburgh that have 3-year-olds. They're going to be 3-year-olds at September 1 this coming year. They're welcome. We have 31 campuses that offer these services, and they're welcome. We feel it's good for not
Yeah.
only for Edinburgh, it's good for our community to get these 3-year-olds started with a formal education.
Doing it right. That is again open enrollment, especially if you work in Edinburgh or near the courthouse or downtown. There's so much industry and businesses and jobs. A university, for example.
Mhm.
Yeah, if you need to drop off your 3-year-old at a local elementary school, Edinburgh CISD, and get that baby to start learning, and it's um, I'm sorry, this is the way my mind works. Some of these babies, percentage-wise, they're more proficient in reading than they are in controlling their bladder. They're that small,
Mhm.
3-year-old, 4-year-old, but you're getting it done. You told me just real quick, the test results showing that these babies right now, the ones who started a few years back,
Yes.
are already how many years ahead? Like a year or two ahead as far as reading.
The reading levels were compared to the state were at about 50% greater reading at a master's level, meaning that they did really, really well. We were at about 15 percentage points higher than the state of another kindergarten scores, where these students were testing 15 percentage points greater at the master's level, meaning they did really, really well on the test. And then I believe it compared to nationwide, they were doing 12 percentage points better at the master's level, meaning that they aced the test. And then on the other end of that, the children that did really bad, our students were at a significantly lower percentages than the state and the nation. So the proof is in the pudding. The program is good.
Shorter,
It's good for our children. It's good for our families. And eventually, we think these kids are going to graduate from college. The chance of them graduating from college are
yeah,
much greater. And you started to show by your show by saying education is a great equalizer. College is a great equalizer, as you well know. Uh, uh, as you well know, that college is a great equalizer.
yes, sir. Dr. Mario Salinas, the superintendent of schools, Edinburgh CISD. How many babies, how many Huerquillos do we have so far in pre-K three, pre-K four? How many more can you host at Edinburgh schools?
Right now, we have about 1,200 pre-K threes and about 1,500 pre-K fours. We'll take them all, Sergio. We don't turn anybody around. We'll figure out a way to get them either to a different school that has capacity, or but if the parents want to send their children here, We'll figure out a way, and we keep them at 22 to 1. We don't let them get further than that, especially at 3 or 4 year olds, because it becomes difficult for the teacher and the aide.
Yeah.
But we'll figure out a way to accommodate the children and their families, the parents and their families.
All right. Edinburgh CISD also placing Los Huerquillos, putting the kids, high school kids, on a path towards college. University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley, Edinburgh CISD project, the collegiate high school. And I know you're enrolling for that as well. So tell me about that
Yes,
program.
yes, that's the other thing. We start this war on poverty with the 3 year olds, and then we also have this collegiate high school, right? Here in our schools, the percentages of economically disadvantaged children in that particular school is close to 70%. So most of those kids that are in that campus come from economically stressed home environments. And we've been talking about this for several years. If a child graduates from that high school, they're going to get a high school diploma, and they're going to have almost 2 years credit toward a Bachelor of Science degree in a demand field. And we feel that if we can get them to graduate from that high school, they're going to graduate from college because they've already done 2 years almost.
And they are in college. They're actually
Yes,
enrolled in ETRGV.
yes. When they're juniors and seniors, when they're in 11th and 12th grade, they are taking classes with college professors. They're at that facility. I've toured some parents there. I toured the Edinburgh Economic Development Leadership class last week of that facility, and they're blown away by what's happening on that campus. And they know that campus, if the children attend that campus, it's a rigorous campus, as we all know. It's rigorous, not for every child, but it's for the child that knows they want to go to college, and it's for the child that wants to get a college degree. It's for those families that believe what you and I believe, that education is the great equalizer, and they want their children there because they know they're gonna have an advantage over other children when they graduate from that school. From as far as the advantage of graduating from college.
Edinburgh CISD is open enrollment.
It
You,
is.
you can, and even these programs, like the collegiate program, you can enroll your child into that. How do folks get the process started to set
They
up?
can go to their website there at the Collegiate High School. There's an application, and and I was asked this last week when I was talking to the Edinburgh leadership class. What is the criteria for the child to be able to get in there? We don't have a criteria. It the Collegiate High School is like any other high school. We don't we don't have criteria. If they want to give it a shot, we'll let them give it a shot. If they feel they can handle the rigor, the parents feel that that's what they want, we'll let them try it. We don't keep them out. There is an application process because we need to there's some data that we need for the state,
Mhm.
but we're not going to keep them out. We're going to give them a chance. And we have children there that here from Falfurrias, we have children there from La Jolla, we have children there from McAllen, from everywhere, right? We If they want to come there, we think it's good for
Yeah,
Edinburgh. It's good for the surrounding community.
yeah. That's a long drive to school, man. From Falfuria every single day.
Yes.
That's pretty amazing.
That's what the parents are committed, right? They know. Parents know it's good for their children. It's a good school. It's a rigorous academic environment, not for all children, but some children, some families want that.
It's a real deal, man. It's college, and there's a plan B if you don't want to do that. As I've mentioned with, we've talked about this before. The ages would be middle school. That's
Right.
when parents, you got middle school, you got kids in middle school. This is the time to start having the conversation about
Yeah.
what your child, the hopes and dreams, what your child has the capacity to achieve. Because in Edinburgh, you also got that
We're
career.
going to start the middle school recruitment process real soon. Visit all our middle schools. We're going to start inviting other Saturdays for parents that don't live in Edinburgh. They want to come and tour the facility. We're going to start recruiting our new cohort group for next year
For the collegiate high school,
for that collegiate high school.
right? And also talking about the career and technology for all these fields that they could go into and get
That's
jobs
correct.
right after high
That's
school.
Yeah. That's another.
Yeah.
We have a lot of aspects of our programs that we feel. are tools to fight the cycle of poverty, right? And that's another one that would take probably another entire segment of your program to talk
Yes, sir.
about the new
As
early
often.
technology program.
Yeah, and God bless you, you and all the gang over at the office at Edinburgh CISD. These conversations need to be repeated over and over, kind of like a top song. What's that stupid one right now? It's going tap it, tap it, tap it, tap it. They play this until I want to vomit. I hear so much. See, these are the issues that need to be repeated over and over and
Yes,
over on the radio, on television, on media, because people need to know about this. Because in the end, it's what matters. It's the future for our kids. It's their
yes.
education, their careers, their livelihood. All right, my brother. Anything else before I let you go?
We're good, Sergio. We're
All right,
good. Thank you for being a partner with us. We
sure.
look forward to working with you
We're
and
glad
your
to be.
programs.
Yes, sir. Thank you much, Mario Salinas, Edinburgh CISD Superintendent. Edinburgh Schools open enrollment. Register today. You got babies 3, 4 years old. Yeah, they need to be in pre-K, going to school, learning how to read. For that, the collegiate program, the career technology, all those programs, they can contact Edinburgh CISD. This is the Sergio Show on Newstalk 710 KURV. This hour made possible by DLJ Commercial Roofing. Big thank you as well to Best Restaurant Supply.
News, information, and entertainment in crystal clear digital quality. Download the Radio Parmi app and listen to News Talk 710 KURV and our family of Radio United broadcast and digital stations. The Radio Parmi app. Download it now.